Chapter 3. Dreams are an important part of life. What they bring to light in our mind's eye as we slumber is greatly underappreciated. Jean slept in a chair in the waiting room. She had stayed the night in the hospital with John's brother. When she nodded out around 3:30, Vinny kissed her forehead and set out for the parking lot. She was left sleeping, dreaming in silence. Any fears she had left were being eradicated in her dreamland. She was staring down wild animals, chasing assailants away with excessive force and biting shrieks. Boogeymen that she had long forgotten were hunted down to the dark hiding places of her mind and set ablaze with the truth of their non-existence. Monsters and chilly apparitions she had not felt since childhood ran from the vigilant force of reality that had settled comfortably in her. She did not know where such strength arose from, but she didn't question it. She couldn't shake the feeling, however, that something was helping her purge herself of the fears. Something was giving her the initiative to do the spring cleaning during the late fall morning that she was sleeping. When the last of the unspeakable horrors was driven from her psyche, she rested in the warm confines of tropical beaches. Basking in the sun, she watched as John dove into the surf and resurfaced to run along the beach. Although she was unconscious, she felt tears stream down her face again, and she realized that this was but a dream. The sun warmed her right cheek, gently lapping away her tears. The heated rays cradled her face with an all too familiar touch. She raised her hand to her cheek and felt the soft skin of a hand. She opened her eyes to see her husband standing over her. The tears began to surface again. No, no, she thought to herself. This can never happen. Why must I dream of fantasy? Why are you crying, Jean? It was then that she realized John was standing in front of her in his hospital cloak. Behind him, she could see the green and white walls of the hospital's waiting room. She had eased from sleep so gently that she believed herself to still be dreaming. Her eyes still locked on her husband, she reached her left arm and pinched. Ow! She was awake now, no two ways about it. Her eyes widening, she looked to see her husband standing. Speechless, she wrapped her arms around his neck and hugged him into her. He fell forward onto her lap. Easy, Jeannie, he said, hugging back. Easy. You're walking. I told him that I'd take my chances finishing the healing here because I'd been without you for too long. I hope he was understanding. I have to thank him. They kissed for a moment or three. While they were locked in their embrace, an aide who had just come on duty 3 hours ago, relieving Gabrielle, turned the corner. The nurse stayed by the corner, watching the reunion. She sighed and smiled. Her warm feeling turned to shock, and her jaw dropped through the 3 floors to the sub-basement when she watched Mr. Coletta stand on his own 2 feet and lead his wife by the hand back to the hospital room.